What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to be doing a penetration test with my 416 Ruger elephant gun, and I'm going to be shooting at some sandbags from about 25 yards away. And the purpose of the test is to see if an elephant gun can penetrate through a standard 50-pound sandbag that you can buy at your local home improvement store. And the ammunition I'm going to be using in this test are some non-expanding solid bullets. And the rifle I'm going to be using is my Ruger M77 Hawkeye guide gun, which has a 20-inch barrel. And the first ammunition I'm going to be testing is some Hornady 400 grain Dangerous Game solids, which have a muzzle velocity of 2,400 feet per second. And they can generate 5,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. And these bullets have a steel jacket. And the second ammunition that I'm going to be testing is some Buffalo Bore 350 grain monometals. And these bullets have a muzzle velocity of 2,650 feet per second. And can generate 5,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. And I have chronographed both of these factory loads, and I can confirm that these velocities that are printed on the box are accurate out of my 20-inch barrel Ruger guide gun. I'm going to be using a bench rest to make sure that I get a good hit on the sandbag. And at the end of the test, we're going to try to recover the bullets and see what happened to them. And most importantly, we're going to see if an elephant gun can penetrate through a standard 50-pound sandbag. Now, sandbags make excellent ballistic protection, and I have tested them against 300 Win Mag. If you want to see that test, I'll leave a link at the top of this video, or you can check out my 300 Win Mag playlist. So without further delay, let's see what happens. Can an elephant gun penetrate through a regular 50-pound bag of sand? All right, guys. 416 Ruger elephant gun versus 50-pound sandbag. First up is going to be the Hornady Dangerous Game solid. This is a 400 grain steel jacketed bullet with a muzzle velocity of 2,400 feet per second. And I did confirm this muzzle velocity out of my 20-inch barrel Ruger guide gun with a chronograph test. And the second shot is going to be with this Buffalo Bore 400 grain monometal. And this one has a muzzle velocity of 2,675 feet per second and generates 5,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Let's see if we can't penetrate these 50-pound sandbags. Wow, looks like we knocked the whole bag over. Let's go see what happened. Wow, guys, this is crazy. The energy of that 400 grain Dangerous Game solid 416 Ruger completely tossed this 50-pound sandbag. And I had a perfect hit right here, right in the middle. You can see that little tiny 416 caliber hole. But that is just impressive. whether it penetrated or not. Just tossed that whole bag. It's crazy. So let's flip this thing over now and see if there's any exit hole. Wow, did not penetrate. Look at that, guys. No exit hole at all. Check that out. That's crazy. Nothing. Perfectly clean. No exit hole. Wow. So for those of you guys who plan to use sandbags after SHTF to protect your home from stray bullets, a 50-pound sandbag, a regular 50-pound sandbag, can stop an elephant gun cartridge, no problem. And also a 300 Win Mag, anything else. Pretty impressive. All right, guys, so once again, there's the entrance hole. 400 grain DGS elephant gun cartridge, and no pass through on the back. Look at that, perfectly clean. That is just impressive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find the bullet in here and see what it looks like after hitting this 50-pound sandbag. So now we'll take a shot with the 400 grain mono metal and see if that one can penetrate. I don't think it will, but let's see what happens. All right, so now let's hit it with that 400 grain mono metal buffalo bore, 2,675 feet per second. Let's see what happens. Wow, guys, that 400 grain mono metal absolutely tossed this 50-pound sandbag. Check that out. There's the entrance hole, and I don't see an exit hole on the back. I see a big bulge here, but no exit hole. That is just absolutely impressive. Look at how it just tossed that 50-pound sandbag. That is just insane. Look at that. Let's flip it over, see if there's anything on the back. The back is completely clean. Look at that. Nothing. Completely clean. So here are our two entrance holes here. This was the 400 grain DGS. This was the 350 grain mono metal. So let's take a look around just to show you guys I'm not making this up. Look at that. No pass through whatsoever. Completely clean. So pretty cool, guys. So if you plan to use some sandbags to protect your home after SHTF when there's bullets flying all over your neighborhood, just a regular size 50-pound sandbag will stop elephant gun cartridges and maybe even a 50 BMG, but at least it'll stop an elephant gun cartridge that can generate between 5,000 and 5,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. These were solids. These were not expanding bullets. Both of these were solids. The 400 grain DGS is basically like 70% steel, and the 350 grain mono metal is a solid copper alloy, and they could not penetrate a regular 50-pound sandbag. So sandbags make excellent home protection after SHTF. If you want to see my 300 Win Mag sandbag penetration test, check out my 300 Win Mag playlist, and I'll leave a link at the top of this video to that 300 Win Mag sandbag penetration test. Now, the only thing that could compromise your sandbags, not really penetrate them, but compromise them, is if they get repeated hits with high velocity hollow points or frangible bullets. What's going to happen is when those frangible bullets or hollow points hit the sand, they blow apart and they make huge holes in the sandbag, and then the sand starts to spill out. So actually, if you're in an offensive situation and you're shooting at somebody who has a bunker made of sandbags, you're actually better off using hollow points and frangible ammo rather than ball ammo or FMJ or solids or even armor piercing, because that hollow point ammo, frangible ammo, is going to blow huge holes in the sandbag, and the sand will start to spill out, and that's going to weaken the sandbag. There's going to be less sand in it, and eventually bullets are going to go through. And if you want to see that demonstrated, check that 300 Win Mag sandbag penetration test that I did. Alright guys, so I recovered the bullets from the sandbag, and I want to give you a close-up look at them. I'm also going to weigh them to see what kind of weight retention they have, and also going to measure the expansion on them. But these are solid bullets. They're not designed to expand, but when shot at something like sand, pretty much any kind of bullet is going to expand, even solid non-expanding bullets like these. So on the right here we have the 350 grain monometal, and you can see it mushroomed up, and this is a solid copper alloy bullet, okay, in soft material. This bullet is not supposed to expand at all, but because we shot this at sand, it expanded and mushroomed up. So pretty cool. I wanted to just show you guys what it looks like here up close. You can see the rifling marks on the bullet. And I'm going to clean off this sand before I weigh it. And here we have the 400 grain DGS, Dangerous Game Solid. And this one is not actually a true solid. It is a jacketed bullet, but it performs like a solid. And this has a steel jacket. You can see the core shot out the back of the bullet, the base of the bullet, okay? It does have a lead core in it, and this core shot out the back, but pretty much the rest of the bullet intact. And this has a steel jacket once again, and the nose is mostly steel, and you can see that it actually retained its shape better than the monometal. You can see the monometal flattened out much more than the DGS. Now, the monometal was traveling at 250 feet per second faster than the DGS, but the DGS is also made of steel, so it's a harder material and it doesn't deform as easily. You can see the nose was pretty much like kind of flattened out for the most part, but not to the same extent as the monometal. So that's something to keep in mind when you're selecting bullets for penetration. Anything that has a steel jacket is always going to be tougher than a monometal made of copper alloy, because copper is softer than steel. And that also depends on the jacket thickness. These DGS bullets are not thin jacketed, they're pretty thick, okay? And the nose of the bullet is mostly steel. So even though they say it's a steel jacketed bullet, it's still like 60 to 70% steel, and there's just a tiny lead core in the back just to add a little bit of weight so the bullet is not too long, because if they made the bullet 100% steel, it would be very long and it would take up a lot of powder space in the case. So what they do is they make the bullet like 60 to 70% steel. Basically the nose is mostly steel, and then the bearing surface has this jacket made of steel, and then there's a small lead core inside, okay? So I'm going to clean these bullets up. I'm going to weigh them. I'm going to take some measurements, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so I cleaned up the bullets. I want to show you what they look like after cleaning them up. And you can see here on the DGS, some of the lead actually came out through the nose here. And the lead that they use in these DGS bullets is a hard cast lead or hard alloy lead. Okay, so that looks pretty crazy. Look at how that nose just completely deformed after hitting the sand. So sand is definitely a very effective media for stopping bullets. Look at this, guys. Just completely mushroom this solid copper alloy bullet. I mean, it looks like a hollow point, basically. That's just crazy. All right, guys, so I zeroed out my scale, and I got this 100-gram weight just to make sure it's zeroed out. You can see it says 100 grams. So we're going to switch to grains now. We'll start with the monometal. 344 grains, so it lost 6 grains, basically. It's pretty impressive. And now for the DGS, it probably lost a lot more because it shot its core out. Oh, wow, that's surprising. 396 grains. Wow. So it only lost 4 grains. That's pretty interesting. As you can see, the core here is missing. So it's very interesting. That's impressive. 396.1. So very minimal weight loss with these bullets, even though they impacted sand, which is a hard media. All right, guys, so now we're going to measure the expansion. We'll start with the DGS. It's pretty crazy. It expanded 0.83 inches. That's pretty insane. And here we have the 350 grain monometal, also 0.83 inches roughly. So these solids expanded quite a bit, and again, they're not designed to expand, but it's pretty impressive to see that they held together even after hitting all that sand. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned to my channel for more ballistics tests, more 416 Ruger videos, and as always, you can find these videos in my 416 Ruger playlist and my ballistics and penetration tests playlist. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.